Good evening, everyone. This video I'm going to tackle two different subjects, so they are quite intertwined. The first off is a question that I was asked by the user Wounded Self, and the second thing I want to talk about is Boundless Eye's most recent video about the human touchy camera. So anyway, the first thing I want to talk about is this question. Wounded Self asked me whether it's better to seize the moment or wait for things to come to you in life, or maybe sort of like a mix of the two. What's the best way of getting the most out of your life. Now, I have loads of respect for people who can take risks and make the most of their lives. To me that takes an insane amount of courage. Sometimes I wish I could be more reckless. I sure as hell don't want to go through my whole life being sensible. Who would? I may be boring, but I'm not stupid. I just can't do that though. The risks are always present in my mind, and I just can't shake them. And the danger I always think of is death. To me, it's the worst thing that could happen in any given situation. So anything out of the ordinary for me, the worst thing that could happen is, which I just said, is death. It's always there. I always have to decide whether the benefits of any given action are more beneficial to me than all the negative shit that's going to happen, that I know will happen to me before, during and after said action. And it's nearly always better to just stay where I am, except in rare circumstances. So there have been times when I've taken risks. Well, risks to me, normal everyday occurrences for everyone else. Meeting people, for example, although recently it does seem that meeting me is the last thing people want to do, but regardless. And for the most part, when I've met people, it's been good times. You think that would give me more confidence to go out more, but no. I feel the same things each time I want to do something out of the ordinary. It's the same anxiousness, the same sort of cold sweats and whatnot. It's something I just can't seem to get out of. Now I know this makes me sound like some sort of social pariah, which I am to some extent, but I am a friendly person once I get to know people, and I feel that I can relax around them more. I can let my guard down and be myself a little bit more. I can even be fun. I've always focused on the negative side of things, due in part to my depression, and so taking risks despite what I think might happen and trying to forget about them is as hard to me as forgetting how to breathe or walk. There are so many things that I'd like to do and experience. Of course there are loads of things, but these ideas are so far away they might as well be impossible. Of course, if you wait for things to come to you, then you could be waiting a hell of a long time. I know. And I think you increase your chances significantly if you put yourself out there, depending on what it is you want. Now, of course, I am a giant hypocrite because I never seize the moment. As I've talked about, the fear is crippling. It sometimes feels like I'm in a cage of sorts. And I can't get out no matter what. Would I like to be, free, for lack of a better word? Sure, but the negative emotions are so overwhelming that I wouldn't even know where to start. They're very hard to control, and once they get out of control, it's very hard to sort of get back into a positive mindset. So I think to get the most out of life, you have to take risks. You have to take the plunge. If there's something you want to do it. If there's someone you're interested in and you want to ask them out, ask them out. You'll probably regret it later. But if you need some encouragement, just look at me. I don't take any risks, and look where I am. That should give you enough impetus to do anything. Now, you're welcome. Now about Boundless Eye's video about the human touch. I said this in a comment on her video, but I never really considered myself a touchy-feely person. But I think that was because I was never really friends with anyone who was touchy-feely with me. I met a friend of mine from the internet around Christmas last year, I think it was, maybe in about November time. And I met her, and we chatted for like 3 hours. We had a great chat. It was good times, as I said. And after we were, just before we went our separate ways, she gave me a hug. Now I wasn't expecting this. I would never assume that someone would want to hug me, and I would never instigate a hug because it would be incredibly embarrassing if it wasn't reciprocated. Just like on a first date, if you're leaning for a kiss and she sort of backs away, it's like, damn, that's just the worst thing to happen. You might as well just cancel the second date if there is one, because it's very hard to back away from that, to at least to get back onto non-embarrassing terms. But anyway, we hugged, and it was nice, to have that closeness with someone, to have someone actually want to get that close with you, and to sort of get into their personal space, as it were. So I love hugs. They're fantastic. Can't say a bad thing about them. And I think touching is something a lot of people take for granted. I could go through a whole day without any human contact apart from my mum, and that would not be an uncommon occurrence. I know it's pretty pathetic, but even when I go to the gym, it's not like I go out to try and touch people. I mean, if it happens, it happens, but I don't think it's an uncommon occurrence for me not to have human contact with anyone. But then it comes back to taking risks. If I got out there more, and I might find someone, I might find people who like me, and I might make some good friends, but this is my choice, and I got no one else to blame for myself, which is something I talk about in my video about personal responsibility. And just as a little side note, I hope you do keep making videos, Jess. Please don't let anyone stop you from voicing your own opinion. Make any video you want on any subject you want. Please do not care about what these fuckers think. Fuck the haters. They're just trying to make you feel as bad and as insecure inside as they do, and do not give them the fucking satisfaction. I like you. Lots of people do. If you go by, your subscribers and the amount of good comments and intelligent comments that you do get, don't focus on the fucktards of the world. Now don't make me do something stupid, because I will. I'll make an embarrassing private video and send it to you, just to make you laugh. You have been warned. You do not want to see me dance. I look like I'm having a seizure or something. I could call it. It could be a new trend. It could be like the coma scene. Is he dancing, or is he having a seizure? It could be a bit of both. You don't want to see me dance, honestly, and I will, to cheer you up. I will make an ass of myself. So anyway, I've rambled on for long enough. Go away.